Hi, I'm Rees. I'm a taught postgraduate student at the University of Bath, working for the Department of Economics on a Masters in Economics and Finance. Today I'm just going to be answering some questions about student life and about my experience so far this year. So whether you've applied or you're still planning to apply for a Masters later on in the year, hopefully I can shed some light on what you can expect when you get here. A little bit more about myself. I studied my undergraduate degree at the University of Reading, where I did MSc Economics. And over the course of those 3 years, I felt that I was more interested in the finance side than the economics. So last year, when I was looking for master's opportunities, the MSc in Finance and Economics at the University of Bath really caught my eye, because I could then put some more emphasis on the finance side without neglecting the more theory-based economics. So given the kind of ever-changing state of lockdown, most of the time we would have online learning, so on Zoom or Teams, which the lecturers are very good at delivering these seminars and lectures and things. But as well as that, we also, when we were allowed, we had in-person teachings on campus. So the combination of these became what Bath coined the Bath Blend, which I imagine you would have read about online in the syllabus or what have you. And what this meant, it meant that a couple of times a week you could go into campus, if possible, get a feel for the place, speak to your lecturer in a face-to-face, see your cohort, and kind of be reminded that although you are doing pretty much everything remotely at the moment, you are still at uni, and it was kind of a good refresher just to see, we're still here, we're still working, and everything's still going forward. These sessions were recorded and broadcasted, obviously globally as well, so people in Egypt or China or wherever they were learning from, also learning with us, and which is something that the whole thing's been focused on, that no matter where you were this year, you could still learn to the best of your ability. The lecturers this year, I have to admit, have become very effective at delivering on the online learning, whether that some lecturers choose to do it different ways. Quite a lot of my lecturers now are using the live, so still scheduled live times. They're using these for seminars and lectures and an actual meeting. And then each week they would release weekly recorded lectures. So even though we're not be able to go onto campus and into university necessarily at the moment, there's still plenty of work to be done. And what this meant, it meant that, for example, we could watch the 2-hour lecture, the recorded lecture on our own time, any notes, make a note on it, come to the seminar on Tuesday or Wednesday, ask them, say on slide 67, this happened, why did this happen? And being able to dedicate some more time to questions and more interactivity is something that I think has worked really well this year at Bath. Strangely enough, the highlight of the course so far for me seems to be the assessment criteria. We've had a lot of diverse ways of being assessed, including different types of coursework. For example, we had a piece from financial economics where we were given a basic portfolio, we were just told to diversify it, and that was basically the only structure we had. And so being able to take that very limited and open-ended brief and taking it whichever way we chose was best is something that really highlights the way you could do anything and it would be a valid answer, you just have to justify it. And that was very interesting. And strangely enough, the other thing I think is worth mentioning, which I know a lot of students, including myself, dread, is group coursework. Having to collaborate remotely on Teams or Zoom or emails or Skype or what have you is a skill that unfortunately we're all going to have to learn. For better or for worse, we're going to have to learn it, and so being able to do that and get some experience in that sense was very valuable. I found it much more challenging to do online, but being able to have that experience I think is very, very valuable. Yeah, so I think being at Bath hugely benefits and helps you secure a job after you graduate. Obviously the university itself is very credible, it's a very good university, and so having that kind of power behind you holds immense value when you're applying for these positions. As well as that, as I mentioned, the kind of mature environment between the staff and students. Being able to just talk to the lecturers about potential interview questions or anything like that is something they would be happy to help out with, and so being able to talk and get an idea for what a mature economist or a mature financial advisor sounds like or speaks like, or you kind of get exposed to an environment where you seem more credible in the interviews themselves, which is obviously immensely helpful. And finally, I think it's worth mentioning the career service they've got at Bath is pretty much fantastic. So as a postgrad, they've given extra slots to postgrad taught students and final year students at undergrad. And what that means is you're free to book into a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting with a careers advisor from there. And if you want them to rip apart your CV, pick apart your personal statement or what have you, general interview tips, assessment centre tips, all of this, they're constantly run every week. So all you've got to do is log in, book in, and you can get help whenever you need it. And I would strongly recommend you utilise those. If you are undergrad at the University of Bath already, have a look at them. I know there's a lot of emails going around about them, but have a look at the career service. It is immensely valuable, and I would strongly recommend you get involved in that. So my favourite thing about Bath so far, especially in my course, seems to be the mature environment. We're much more able to contact lecturers and members of staff on a one-to-one level and converse in a way that's more colleagues speaking rather than a student and a lecturer. That works well for me because I feel like they're much more approachable. If you have questions or problems or anything that needs fixing or anything you can't solve, being able to contact them directly and say, no, look, I can't get it. Can we have a meeting about it? What have you? Seems to be something really helpful for me, especially in the time at the moment. Being able to contact them on Teams or emailing them is something very easy to do, and they're always really helpful. So my advice for somebody starting their postgrad in September is very simple, and you would have heard it a million times, but just say yes to pretty much everything. Throw yourself in at the deep end. Be that student representation, be that getting involved in the SU, do some societies, just do everything. I know a lot of people, myself included, the Masters wasn't the immediate plan for them, but given the circumstances, this is a more suitable route. If that is the case, I strongly recommend you throw yourself into the deep end. Just say yes to everything. It may seem strange at first and a little bit, why am I doing this? I wasn't that keen in the first place, but just do it. So far in the last semester and the first half of semester 2, I've been involved with the SU and doing some work with the marketing department like now, and it is immensely valuable just to get the most out of your year. So whether you're at Bath or wherever you end up studying postgrad, just get involved with as much as possible. It looks great on your CV obviously, but really just get stuck in. And my favourite artist is an odd and a strange one. Album will go album. You obviously got some greats. You got Who's Next, The Who, Phenomenon, UFO, but obviously potentially the best album of all time, College Dropout. So I won't skip a track on that album. So it's going to be one of them. Well, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope I've answered or clarified any questions or queries you've got with regard to starting postgrad in September. I hope everything goes well for you this year. Finish your studies. I hope they go fantastically. If you've got any more questions or anything, there is a plethora of information on the website. Go and have a look at the economics department. There's some contact emails and things on there if you want extra information. But I wish you luck. Thank you.